From Twitter, I guess not. Um, hello,
Oh, wow.
hello,
Good.
and
We're good.
welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today uh, we have to go in on one of the biggest. Look, this man has single-handedly made both of our lives a misery uh, online. His name is Onzo Hodges. And you know, this is nothing short of a cancellation of Onzo. Like to me, right now, there's like Hitler's up here, right? Then you've got like someone like Ted Bundy down here, and just
Right.
underneath is Onzo of Biggaford Entertainment. I'm talking about a history of online bullying, cyber stalking, and intimidation on both of our parts. It's got so bad that you know him and his little raccoon friends like Mike, we're afraid to walk the streets at night, aren't we, K-Dots?
I'll tell you how bad it has
Because
gotten,
you
nerd
know
man.
that's what
This is how bad it has gotten. I'll say this as a grown man. He makes me soil myself whenever
I'm
I hear
afraid.
his name. That's how bad the shock
You
is.
can
Every
cry.
time I hear,
You can cry if you want to. You can cry if you want to, brother. There's no shame in a man crying, especially
I'm
after
gonna stay
these
strong for
years
this.
and
I'm gonna stay
years
strong for this team.
of
I'm gonna stay
intimidation.
strong. I gotta stay
These
strong.
these fools come out to us. These fools like Mike come out to us at night, whispering in our ear, "MCU is good. Infinity War is good. Infinity War is good." All of that bullshit. They're intimidating our friends, like Cole. Nearly took Cole off the platform. Like a man can't, burn, crosses on his porch in peace these days, without being humiliated for it. So uh, we've got a bunch of evidence to show the years and years of aggression. Um, I'm telling you, man, like it's fear. Groups of people in fear, trembling because of these MCU heathens. Should we start with our exhibit one? Uh, we'll start with exhibit one here. Gaslighting. We'll call this
Love it.
section just gaslighting. Loading it up right now. Can you tell about? We should start with a history of how we met this fiend, this murderous fiend that we met
So
online. How did
I'll give
you
my
meet
best
Onzo first time?
recollection. I'll give my best recollection. I met him through my good old friend MSK, a very innocent individual. You know, he goes to church daily. A nice guy, very nice guy. You know, I met Onzo Hodges
Mm.
through my friend MSK. You know, we hit it off for the first time and started talking about comic books and whatnot. And then, he got to doing some slandering, talking a lot of crap, especially about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I didn't appreciate that.
I, I bet you I know exactly how it happened. He just comes up like one day and he gets real friendly, familiar with you straight away, like your bros or something, right? But slowly, he starts intimidating you online. Everywhere you go, you turn up on some show, Onzo just turns up 5 minutes later. It's like, wait a second, what? Like you're doing a stream, you ain't even sent him the link, he pops up. How the fuck did he get the link, bro? You know what I'm
All right.
saying? It's that kind of stuff,
That's
right?
why I think there
Intimidation,
is.
bro.
I think there is people in the camp that have been compromised. They're sending him links to these streams. He's getting on the
Right. They're
streams.
enabling
He is
him.
spreading
Enablers.
his MCU logic onto people that just want to live in peace and enjoy their fandom.
Exactly. Toxicity, bro. That's the problem with this platform. So he comes on intimidating us as DC fans, innocent, Jesus loving DC fans. Okay, comes on with all of his, satanic rituals and shit like that. Worshipping naked pictures of Kevin Feige, all of that type of trash, and expecting us to co-sign it just because his friends, like his little raccoon friend Mike, comes on intimidating us as well. Grown men are afraid to step out of their house, afraid to go. Think about that. The freedom.
Keyboard gangsters is what I call them.
Keyboard gangsters. Keyboard gangsters. And we did actually send him a link for this interview, which he refused. He refused to come and actually speak up for his crimes.
Yep.
So let's see what Brett's saying. Dude, you know, you laugh, but it isn't funny, bro. You know, because again, me and K Dots, we've been through hell and back with this guy, man. You know,
Yes.
like this guy, just call him Anzo Kelly or whatever, N Kelly. You know what I'm saying? We've been through hell and back with this guy. Let's play the clip. Have we got one of the clips up yet?
Which clip you want? I got all four up, so we can do either one. I'll just do the first one I brought up. First piece of evidence to get out the way.
Let's see. I'm not sure which one this is, but it's him gaslighting us as per usual.
Spoiler review, discussion, and rant.
It did start the Dark Side War, which kind of kicked off the New 52 and the animated stuff and everything like that.
Yeah. So that was being true to that, and it was genuine. So I don't see why you can't see that. You know, people who are against the tone of this movie or whatever, this is genuine to Shazam.
Yeah.
That's it. They don't all have to be exactly the same in fucking tone. They don't all have to take these characters that are, you know.
You and me, for once, are on the same page, nerd man. Because this is like when Anzo, when you're calling it trash, which again, I don't get mad when people call it trash. I call shit trash all the time. I'm not getting mad that you call it trash.
Okay, here's the mic drop. Here's the mic drop.
To be honest about the reasons that you think it's trash. You think it's trash because you think Shazam, the character overall, is trash. That's the problem.
No, I don't. I don't think it's trash at all. I like the first one.
It did start the Dark Side.
Yeah. So that was being true to that, and he likes the first one. This fake MCU. See, that's what it is in their souls, right? They know, they're jealous of the greatness that is DC, and in their soul, they know that. You heard him say it. He just said, "I like it better than Infinity."
You like Shazam,
right? He said. He blatantly said, "I like Shazam better than Infinity War." There, and yet he's been gaslighting us for the last 2 years, telling us Infinity War's my favorite. He knows for a fact his favorite comic book movie is The Dark Knight. We all know it. He knows.
He knew all the lies were starting to catch up, and they couldn't keep it up anymore. Once you lie so much,
with the lies anymore, yeah.
Lie so much, it gets impossible to keep up that same lie and facade.
Exactly. He knows he can't keep up with the lie anymore. He looks in the mirror and he doesn't even know who he is anymore. That's the problem with this guy. Do you know what I'm saying? He looks in the mirror, he can't recognize himself because oh shit. Wait. Oh.
What's up, Robot Batman?
Oh shit. Wait. I don't know what we've got. We're having some technical issues here. We're having some technical issues right now.
He is Kane to represent himself.
Oh shit!
He is Kane to defend himself. Oh God! Oh jeez!
Are we having some technical issues right here? I don't know what happened. How did you
Anzo,
get the link?
Please do not
Maybe
hurt.
if you put some money into your StreamYard, you won't have technical issues. All I'm going to say is unblock me from your motherfucking chat so I can chat with you guys. Because right now, The smoke is on. I
I
already
don't
got.
see your comment there, Anzo. You can't see it.
Oh, we've got the evidence for you, Jack. We've got the evidence for you, Jack. You can't intimidate us anymore. We're not scared anymore, man. We're just
Anzo, type
afraid.
something in the
That's all.
comments real quick so I can make sure.
Mic into it as well. Okay, Nerd Man, it's on and popping. K Dot, you are thing one, and Nerd Man is thing two. All right.
Hey, Anzo, I mean, you did say you like Shazam, man. The evidence is right there. It speaks
Yeah,
for
the
itself.
evidence is right there. I couldn't believe what I heard. You were like Shazam's like a top 10 MCU movie. I couldn't believe what I just heard.
But you see how MCU is on your mind? Since when was Shazam an MCU movie, Nerd Man?
No, I think you were saying it's the equivalent of a top 5 MCU movie. You just said it in the clip. Everyone
No, I
heard
did
it.
not.
Everyone heard that shit. You can't take it back.
It's
Everyone heard it. And yet you've been gaslighting us for the last year and a half, gaslighting us every time we talk about that movie, saying it's worse than Eternals, all this business. Will you
Nerd
now
Man,
admit in
you
front of
are
the court, in front of
all
the
right.
court of public opinion, will you now admit to your crimes? You've still got a chance at a redemption of your soul,
So
brother.
you know what?
So
Say
let's.
this because you and K Dot have enlightened me, right? You and K Dot have actually opened my eyes, and now I know that the DCU has not made one good fucking movie ever. Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League is fucking trash. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a bunch of fucking sweater. All right. Then you
Besides the
also
evidence, there's evidence of him defending Zack Snyder justly on my live.
Yeah, we've got evidence of that anyways. Don't worry. The man's a born liar. There's a sociopathic tendencies. I think he injured his head when he was younger or something. What carry on spitting your
Hey, hold on.
blasphemy? Go on.
Let me ask you, man. What did you think of Multiverse of Madness?
What do you mean?
Did you like it? Was it good?
Well, I'll say every DCU movie is better, though. I mean,
No. That's not the question I asked you.
Wonder Woman 84 is better, dude. I'll go this far, man. Look,
I agree. Wonder Woman 84 is better than Multiverse of Madness. That is fact.
you know what?
I agree.
And I appreciate this in a movie. I just watched Madame Web, and I had one of the most beautiful sleeps ever watching it. And you know, that's an enjoyment that can be taken. That was more enjoyment than I got from Doctor Strange
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Just saying what you said, that Wonder Woman 84 is better than Multiverse of Madness, because I am going to prove that even till today, you can't tell the motherfucking truth. I'll see you later.
I have never lied in my life. See? Do you see what I mean? You see what I mean? He gets in there, intimidation, gangster style.
They do the dash.
We're
They
watching
go,
you. We're watching
away.
you.
They
And the
scurry away.
threats. There you go. The threats. Let's play clip 2. Let's play. We still haven't even got to his racism part. Let's get to the racism part.
Is it on the Shazam video or the Justice League versus MCU?
I might be able to bring this one up. Hopefully, I won't cut me off.
I got all 4 up. Which one is it?
No, I'm talking about it's on my videos. It's MCU fans racism bit.
And see, that's the thing with the.
So you can talk while I find this. Yeah, go.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say this is the thing with these MCU fans. You know what? Let me just make this a thing overall, because I think there's a bigger conspiracy going on. You know, Disney just recently came into buying portions of that game Fortnite. They bought some stock in the company Fortnite. And what they plan to do is they plan to expand their empire into the Fortnite world and create a virtual Disneyland to trick children into their product. And Anzo is a big supporter of this product. I caught him playing Fortnite. And it's if he's endorsing Fortnite, that means he's endorsing the poisoning of children by Disney. And Disney, as I said on our live when we destroyed Deadpool in the Deadpool and Wolverine, they eat the souls of babies. that game will be used by Disney to transfer the souls from the children into the game and then into the mouth of Walt Disney. That man is not dead. He's on
The
ice
man
and
isn't
he's
dead.
on children. He's feeding on kids.
That's how he stays alive. He feeds off destroying the taste of children in film. And you know what's beautiful? The other day, it was a beautiful sight. I played, Shazam: Fury of the Gods to some of my younger kids. I absolutely loved it. Each one of them was assigning themselves. They were going, "I'm the red one. I'm the blue one. I'm the gray one." You see, that's the beauty of what DC brings to the table when it comes to these comic book movies.
DC brings
teaching the children actual values. You know what I'm saying?
DC's here to teach our children how to go through. The Batman is a prime example. That movie teaches children that you don't have to use vengeance to get what you need. You can use hope.
Right, exactly.
Batman learned at the end of that movie, that vengeance was not the right way. He was putting fear in the people that he was trying to protect. And how can you truly love or care about someone and have their back if they fear you? You need for them to genuinely like you, have your back. And Batman gained that by using hope
and inspiration.
And now,
and think about Wonder Woman. Who knew war was bad until we saw Wonder Woman 2017? You know what I'm saying? The values. That's the values missing in the MCU. It's all about Infinity Wars. Do you know what I'm saying? They make war cool. Wonder Woman was against war. She's trying to stop war in its tracks, stop the evils.
MCU fans like to glorify the horrors of war when war is not peaceful. It is evil. It's toxic. Mm-hmm. It brings nothing but despair. Tell me one war that has benefited society. None. But DC, we are anti-war. We make it clear that war is bad. Superman wouldn't even take part in war.
We will fight.
Their leader of the Avengers, Captain America, fought in a war, and he was proud to do it too. He didn't even feel bad about all the lives he took.
He was happy about it, saying how he was repping America and shit. It's terrible. And even if you look at the Watchmen, you see another kind of depiction of DC, how they depict war in comparison with the MCU. They're warmongers, man. So, okay, good. I've finally got it. Proof. Absolute 100% proof of the racism of Onzo Hodges. Oh, sorry, of Biggaford Entertainment. Have we unblocked him?
No, I can see his comments in the chat. Well, I saw his comments.
No.
You keep trying to think Spider-Man is more popular than Batman. You've lost your
Spider-Man
mind.
Is more popular than Batman. What do you?
Okay, so see the gaslighting tactics immediately. Again, never listens to the argument, right? We're talking about Spider-Man versus Batman in terms of popularity.
Right.
We're talking about Onzo versus Batman versus Spider-Man in terms of popularity. And of course, once again, the gaslighting tactics. But then he goes and does something purely like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The level of, you just watch it. Racial profiling, bruh. Blatant racial profiling. Watch this.
Stop it.
No,
Spider-Man is more popular than Batman.
Can you hear?
Spider-Man is more popular than Batman.
He ain't more popular than Batman, dude.
Yes, he is.
Go and ask anybody on the street.
Google.
Go and ask the next.
Google right
wait,
now.
Wait.
Google right now
because Onzo, Batman broke the building.
More people know Batman villains. More people know his city.
No,
More people know the Batmobile. More people know that shit. You're about to get blown away.
Yellow brought it on my
Blown
screen.
away.
The number one fucking superhero, bro, is Spider-Man. The number one known
Going
superhero
off people if they know his villains.
Spider-Man.
Going off people if they know his villains. Going off the average
Who
person.
cares
Watch
about
him
his
just say
villains? We're
Venom
talking
or
about
Green
Spider-Man.
Goblin. They're gonna say Venom or Green Goblin.
That's part of the
Typical.
popularity. That would show the popularity, right? If people go, oh,
Batman,
who's
people know
Batman's villain? They'll just go
Penguin,
Joker.
Joker.
They'll go Joker
Mr.
straight
Freeze.
away. They'll go, oh, where does he live? Gotham. People know that shit from straight up jump.
For Spider-Man, all they're
People
gonna name
know
is Venom,
nothing.
Dr. Octopus, and
Nothing about
hear you
fucking.
guys. I think my headphones died.
we can hear you.
Yeah. Well, people who know nothing about Batman, nothing. Oh, I heard fucking that sneaky little MCU.
See, these MCU fans trying to really cap and say Spider-Man's more popular than Batman.
Get it on the screen,
No one
and the
comes-
number one
God, no one cares about.
Hold on, here you go.
People
then
care.
secondly,
Spider-Man,
if
People
Keaton
care about
and
Michael
Bale,
Keaton coming back.
Spider-Man,
Keaton and Bale were in a movie, and
Spider-Man.
Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson were in that movie. It was
Spider-Man,
absolutely
Spider-Man,
fucking
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, No Way from Home. Tell me that
Spider-Man,
ain't true. Tell me that ain't
Spider-Man
true.
is the most
I
popular
fucking hate you MCU fans with all my heart. I swear to God.
Spider-Man is
They
the
turned
most
to DC versus
popular
Marvel.
superhero. Spider-Man, not Batman. Spider-Man.
Iron Man
Google.
is.
Google.
You're going by that. If you're going by that metric, Iron Man is.
Google. No, it's Spider-Man. I just read it.
All lies. All
Most
lies.
popular superhero.
Hey,
Spider-Man.
and better yet,
Who told you
Groot is more popular than Spider-Man.
that? Who told you?
Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy is more popular than Spider-Man, and that's fact.
That's facts.
So is Rocket
Batman's way more
Raccoon.
popular.
Isn't that where you go look for your shit?
A
No,
Rocket
never
Raccoon
mind,
movie
he's
will
more
make
popular.
$2 billion. A
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movie will make
You know
less.
what? I'm going to show you something.
It's Spider-Man.
The
Look,
Batman, wait.
Batman's number 2, right?
Wait
Nope.
a minute. Which one are you looking at? Okay, no,
Batman's
that's
number
that's
2,
all
right?
I'm
Batman's number 2.
Watch the
All
race.
right, let me show you something right now. I'm going to share something with you, son of a fucking piece of fucking.
Mad. It's okay.
Fucking
It's
believable.
okay that Spider-Man's bigger than Batman. It's all right.
Wait, Anzo. I typed it.
Spider-Man ain't even bigger than Superman, let alone fucking Batman.
Yes, it is.
Right. Wait, I'm trying to see which one y'all looking at because I'm looking at this one. There's one.
You see this? Do you see this? Oh, wait, I'm not sure. Do you see what this
He has
is?
become a legend, a victim of tragedy,
I don't understand what
who emerges as a
Wait.
symbol of justice. What the hell are you? I'm Batman.
All right.
But
Do you know what
drives
this
a
is?
billionaire to
Do you know
become
what
a
this
crime?
is? Do you know what this is? This is a fucking documentary with doctors and psychologists fucking analyzing the character of Batman and his fucking.
Why did they do that, Nerd Man?
Why did they do
Why,
that?
why did they do this?
Why did they
Because
do
all the
that?
fucking Nolan
Because
movies were
Batman
coming
is more
out.
popular than
No,
your fucking
because the
Spider-Man.
Nolan
No one's
movies
going to be doing
coming
those
out.
Spider-Man
Jealous
fucking
because Nolan
documentaries
movies.
with
It was
psychologists
because
Like
the
them.
Nolan
the
were
psychology
coming out.
of Green
It was
Goblin.
because- it was
It
because
ain't gonna happen.
it was
It ain't gonna
because-
happen. You know
it was
why?
Like experience,
the
guys.
fuck
This is
Nolan
entertainment.
movies were coming out. That's the only reason why they did it.
Let me
So
show
that
you.
they could fucking big up the Nolan movie. That's it.
Because it was
That's all.
fire, bro. Because it was fire, Anzo. Because it was fire and still
The
better than
only
every
reason why they
movie
did it.
to exist.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit, bro.
The Dark Knight is still better than every MCU movie to exist right now to this day.
Shut the
Even
fuck
Infinity
up
War.
with that shit.
And that's facts. And also, The Dark Knight is the first $1 billion superhero movie to exist.
Professor of social
first.
psychology, UCLA. There's
Wait.
all types of psychologists all on here talking about fucking Batman. This guy over here. Look at this guy. You think he ever cared about fucking Spider-Man and his fucking rogues
did
gallery?
No,
No.
he got paid. He got paid.
This guy cares about the
First off,
fucking
Look at him.
He looks like a fucking actor, anyways. He doesn't look like he doesn't look like he can fucking tell the psychology of a hot dog.
That's racist. That's racist right there. That's fucking racist, bro.
He's racist.
That's racism,
He's
bro.
racist.
The only reason why they did
He
that
look like a psychologist to me just because he's Asian. That's fucking outrageous.
was because
He was Asian.
bro. They
That's
wouldn't have-
outrageous. You see how he didn't say that about the white guy? See how he didn't say that about the white guy? Fucking racist, bro.
So, as we can see, you know, this is the type of mentality, the kind of racial profiling we're dealing with you know, unkempt characters like Onzo. So we've got more proof, more evidence coming, more evidence down the line. Cool. We were just talking about the history of merciless bullying and cyber stalking that Onzo has been doing, Cole. And is it not true that, you know, you innocently sometimes like to burn a few crosses on your porch, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. No big problem. And what happens? The raccoons come out at night, don't they?
Yeah,
Blowing
they do.
out your
Like,
crosses.
they say I can't do that, and I don't understand why. Like, it's, you know, it's my property, right?
Blowing out his crosses and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make a nice, like, evening, you know, like vista or view for the kids and shit. And these raccoons, like Mike, come out like blowing out.
Yeah,
his-
exactly.
blowing out,
You know, we're just
calling him
having like a
Trump
nice
bot.
marshmallow, you know, thing, and then he comes out and, like, you know, gets a fire extinguisher, and I don't get it. I don't get what the issue is.
Right, exactly. Calling him a Trump supporter and shit.
Yeah, and then he
Anyway.
says I can't wear my clothes, you know, for some reason. I'm like, why? You know, this hood I have on, you know, it was passed down many generations. It's my culture. Like, why are you being, you know, racist? I don't get it.
Right, exactly. So let's move on to we were talking about the history of how we actually met, you know, Onzo online. Can you explain a little bit about the history of this? I know you might need to have some tears at some point if you need a minute.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
get
sorry.
choked up
You know,
at any point.
I was a victim of Biggaford. I am a survivor though, but you know, I'm glad we're having this like support group. But yeah, you know, I met him through you know, that one Clout Chasers channel, and he was just on there like constantly defending the MCU, and he would always change his opinions. And you know, and then anytime you had like a disagreement, you know, he would like try to find my location, and, you know, saying he's gonna like take me out, and I don't get why.
I don't get it. I mean, what he likes to do is insert himself into the investigations. You know what I'm saying? That's what these killers do. So basically, we've had like some debates with him about like certain films online, which he's been gaslighting us on for the longest time. A24 movies, he's always constantly on you on that, isn't he, Cole?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand why. Like, you know, they're just the best films ever, right?
Right, exactly. And telling you Infinity War is cinema and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a crime in itself. Wow.
So we've got I think a few more clips of the lies, deceit, and you know, homicides basically this man has committed against our brain
and you know,
cells.
I do have a clip
Against our
too,
brain
you know,
cells. Every time I have
whenever
a
you have
conversation.
time.
Good. If you've got a clip, every time we have a conversation, he kills a number of our brain cells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
sort of
murder.
like what Kevin Feige does with the MCU films with the children.
With the children, exactly. Straight after children and stuff. I'm a teacher. I have a lot of care for children, so I try and protect them against this stuff. But you know, there's only so much you can do in society, you know.
They have a poison and control fetish that is just out of this world. I don't know what it is.
So, do you want to play your clip first, Cole, or should we play ours?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll play it here. Yeah, it's just from a stream that he did the other day, and you know, he like tried falsely, you know, calling us like racist and everything just because we were white. But then I got proof now, though, that he's actually the racist.
The racial profiling, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So where's the clip, bro?
Yeah. So this is from the stream, and this is just proof that he's truly the racist here. I'm screen sharing it.
Where is it? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. All right.
Yeah. So here you go.
Tuesday, but we got the next one. And this movie is a movie that I think all Black people should go see. It's about our it's about our ancestors.
Wow, what a racist. Wow, and he calls me the racist.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Lord of the Rings trilogy is cinema. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is real cinema, no cap. That's true. Guys, if you've got any stories you'd like to share about Onzo as well, obviously we've got a couple more clips just to prove that he's actually truly a DC fan. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. You see what I'm saying? The man has an identity issue, right? So he loves the Dark Knight. He loves movies like Shazam and Wonder Woman, and
he tries
can't accept that because he's been infiltrated in the soul. What little of the soul he has left, he's been infiltrated by Kevin Feige. So ultimately
tries to scapegoat by saying Heath Ledger is the only good thing about the Dark Knight, but he still thinks it's a good movie. So even if he has these biases and stuff, he still loves the Dark Knight.
Have you set up the Dark Knight clip? Go on, you can say continue. I was just wondering.
I got all three. I got the other two Shazam clips up, and then the DCU versus Justice League clip.
Oh, so you've got the Dark Knight clip. Let's play the Dark Knight clip. We've already destroyed him on Shazam. We know that he's like a.
Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead, bro. I'll bring up my screen. Bring up my screen, Nerdman.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is still the Shazam one, right?
It's a different clip from the same string,
but it's still the Shazam one. Okay, go for it. Let's cool. Hopefully,
that's epic. That's
epic. because again, you see, you're trying to put things. The action in Shazam is good too. You've never once heard me claim.
Oh,
action.
Okay, no, but you keep pointing out all the things you like in Shazam, and then you say it's trash. That's the problem.
Because
that's the problem we're having.
Again,
he doesn't like it because I like it. Basically, that's what it is. That's what it really comes down to.
And anything I like, and first let me explain this. Anything I don't like, I call trash. It's just the word I use.
Is fucking cooler.
That's epic.
Because again, you see, you're trying to put things. The action in Shazam.
Oh, you could stop it. You could stop it. So let's get this straight. This man, he's a grifter as well. That just shows he's a grifter. Did you hear what he just said? The man's a grifter. So basically, he's saying if he just doesn't like something a little bit, he calls it trash. Just to get like props from like the people who don't like to join on the hate bandwagon against these
exactly and that's wrong, but it's okay to call everything like woke trash, so that's all right, we do that all the time, but just calling everything trash like that's too far.
Yeah, exactly. So what I think we can move on to our next segment in a bit. But I think last thoughts on Onzo. What would you say to him if you could? If you could
I don't
try
know.
and make him understand the pain and suffering we've been through.
I don't know. It's because it's kind of like confronting like an evil dictator. Yeah, I don't really know like what to do. You know, if I confront them face to face, but
I'd like
I guess
to
I
tell
would
him,
just say
you know,
why.
Bye. That's
Yeah, no,
powerful,
just
man.
I would just ask him why, just why. When did
Why?
you do all
Okay,
this?
that's powerful, man. That's powerful. I would tell him I love him. I love him like a brother that I never wanted, and that it's been hilarious and funny doing streams with him for so long, but he likes the Dark Knight. That's what I would say to him. He loves the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Almost as much as I love him.
He also loves the Flash.
K-Dots, what have you got to say to this piece of human swine flu that Onzo is? Okay, he's not there. Good. He's gone to sleep, probably.
Well, no, he's just getting some tissues, and you know he needs to like catch his breath. I understand it. It's tough. You know.
We were gonna go over the best themes in superhero movies, or alternatively, we could talk about Madam Web.
Oh, I'm recovering from Madam Web. Oh God.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I'm in like a rehab group now. Others.
Yeah. I actually see, this is the thing with superhero movies. Like, obviously, like there are worst ones, but there gets to a point where it gets to a level of badness where I'm like, I can't even distinguish between like them.
Yeah,
and so the interesting thing for me is how everyone's saying this is worse than like Venom 2 or what was the last one that came out?
Morbius. I mean, I unironically do think it's worse than that, and Morbius, and even Catwoman. And I just think, like,
it's not worse than. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's hyperbolic, dude. It's not worse than Catwoman. Come on.
They're about on par to me, genuinely.
No, they're not. They're not. But that's, see, this is where I'm gonna call you out here. I think that's because it's got women involved. Because I can't see. There's no.
Well, of course. Why are they in this film? They should be making me a sandwich.
I actually think there's one cool thing about the story, which is that like she can see the future, and then she's just trying to defend. Like, she doesn't really have any other powers, like at least for the beginning, and she's trying to defend herself against this very bland villain, played by an excellent actor. But he's really not on good form in this film.
Yeah, he was garbage in this.
He was garbage in this way. He's actually a really go and watch The Serpent if you want to see.
Yeah, no, I like his performances in other films I've seen, but he like went downhill from actually like what I heard. It's like he kind of pulled a bit of a Robert Davi. He really pissed people off, and yeah, now I know why he's starring in this film and why he's so bad now.
Yeah. Well, if you're ready to hear one of my latest bad takes, Arkham, is that I think that Madam Web is getting a little bit too much hate. A little bit too much hate. Quite frankly, Morbius was much more embarrassing to me. I think that movie is, it's like every single cliche of a dark superhero movie put all into one film. Like, it literally steals scenes from Batman Begins. It steals music from other superhero movies.
To be fair, this film did too. It stole stuff from like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. It even stole stuff from Quantum Break.
No. It sorry. So J-Man, jump on if you want. I'll send you the link. it's really awful. 3 out of 10. There's no real heroic moments or superhero action. Plus, the girls are not even in costumes. Every single trailer shows them using spider powers, and it's not in the movie. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'm not saying but I don't judge things on how a trailer has advertised it. That's trailer companies that do that. So I still think the concept of like her being able to see the future but really having no powers is a kind of cool kind of thing.
I just thought it was
they
done
did
horribly.
really done horribly, right? But
Yeah, like the scene in the
with
train,
the
it's like
Morbius,
that's not how people act at all.
yeah, exactly, and then dancing on the table and all that stupid shit. But the film Morbius, I've got to say, man, like I've never
I
seen
liked it more.
anything
I'm sorry.
quite like you're saying there was you're saying there was sure you're saying there was a couple of scenes that were taken from other films. I don't think it was a couple of scenes, bro. I think every single scene was taken from other films. That's my problem with it. Every single one of them.
I mean,
I
I at
can't
least thought
imagine how you like
Morbius
that.
was more competently made though than Madam Web. Like Madam Web, I just thought was absolutely an embarrassment from start to finish. It felt like either like 20 different people wrote it and then they just put it into Chat GPT and combined it into one script, or it felt like they accidentally sent their budget to like a buddy cop, sorry, not a buddy cop, just a buddy like comedy film or like an XXX parody film, and then they're like, oh shit, and then they're just like, okay, just put some superhero flashback scenes in the beginning, middle, and end and call it a day. That's what it felt like.
All right, but you again, you're describing something that I could say exactly the same of Morbius. I don't.
Oh, I agree. They're both
my
garbage.
problem
but
is
Morbius, I
my
thought was
problem
better
is
made.
how, like, on
Yeah,
what
I
level
at least
was
thought,
it
yeah,
better
I at least
made?
thought the visuals and the editing was more competent. I did like the performance more by what's that guy's name? Matt Smith.
Okay, he was all right. Yeah, that's true. At least he wasn't all right. He was terrible, but he was at least having fun with it. I suppose that he made it into something. But I can't co-sign that. I just think the Sony movies have been like, especially that second Venom movie, because I even kind of liked the first Venom movie. I didn't love it. It wasn't something I was going to rush back to watch again or something like that. But you know, I did think, you know, okay, it's not nowhere near as bad as people were making out. But the second one is just, it's like nobody wrote it. That's what I feel like. Like they just came up in each scene and just improvised the whole fucking movie. That's how I felt. Like that's how little of a story I feel like that second one had. So when this film gets so much hate, I'm just like, what? Like you didn't know, like, you know, you've been seeing these Sony movies for so long, and it's the same thing with the, you know, like when people are hating on, you know, DCEU movies, right, or even some of the later MCU movies. I'm like, have you seen the garbage that has come before, like the X-Men universe? At least we're not dealing with that. With the MCU, and I'd say the DCEU, there's been at least a standard of quality that it's never gone down below. Like the Catwoman days, the Fantastic Four days, or, you know, some of the newer Sony movies, those garbage X-Men movies. I thought the first X-Men movies were worse than the later ones. That's just me, but you know, especially the X-Men 1, X-Men 3, I thought they were terrible. You know, like I didn't see like there were loads of people who were like trying to as if they were, you know, nostalgic for those old X-Men movies. I'm like, which X-Men movies are you talking about? Like the best ones are by far Logan and X-Men First Class. You know, so that again, my point, connecting it back to the Sony thing, is when you have that level of badness, right? And I don't think Madam Web is without any merit at all. I really don't. I didn't get as bored with it watching it as I did with Venom, and I didn't feel as much like I felt like you said it was written by Chat GPT. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, it was written by Chat GPT, but at least it was written. I didn't see any kind of story at all. I didn't even get like the villain in fucking in Morbius. I'm telling you, his whole backstory, everything might as well have just been improvised. It just was so ridiculous, out of this world
I
ridiculous.
agree.
What was going
You
on?
know, again, at the end of the day, they're both garbage. But yeah, I agree. But I will say though, like I do think genuinely this is worse than both of the Venom films and Morbius, and actually on par with Catwoman. Like I genuinely do. However, I will say I actually enjoyed this more than all those though, because I laughed the hardest at this every second. I enjoyed, ironically.
Yeah, I still think it's better than Infinity War though.
Oh, facts. It's better than every MCU film.
I think it's better. Hey, dude, is it late?
I know. I'm just tired.
We were just talking about how Madam Web is still better than Infinity War. Okay, so you there? I think I heard him come back. Okay, doesn't matter. Arkham. So, have you watched Madam Web yet?
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't like it.
Sony's on
we
a
have a
roll.
support group if you need it, Arkham.
What?
Sony is on a roll. Why would they do this whole universe? I don't understand them. They might as well just get another Spider-Man and put him in it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They have no long-term plan. They're just rolling with it as much as they can to try to like bank off of, you know, just more money with the MCU and the property, of course. But yeah, I mean, I just think a smarter strategy would have been doing something like just more of a show like Legacy of the Monsters, and just doing show like all the villains in there and then hyping it up for like a film they released with Spider-Man fighting all them. That would have been better, but of course they didn't do that.
Yeah, like I think the issue is like I don't know what their plans is. Like it seems like they want like you have a solo movie for every I guess like you have Craven the Hunter, you had was it Venom, now you have Madam Web, and they're probably gonna make you have more Morbius too. I don't know what the end goal of what they're trying to do with this universe, because it's like, are you gonna have a Spider-Man in your universe or not? Because like it's just very unclear. Because it's like they should have a Spider-Man in their own universe, but I don't know why they don't have one. It just makes no sense to me. Like there's nothing wrong with making villain solo movies, but there's the difference making a good villain solo movie and a bad one. It's like I just don't know anymore with Sony.
I mean, I honestly, I don't think this is their worst movie. I'm sorry. I know like there's a lot of hate on it at the moment, and there's, you know, some good reasons for that hate, but it still had somewhat of a consistent tone. It still had, you know, an actual sort of story progression. Yeah, like I honestly feel like most of Morbius and most of especially that second Venom movie, I swear to God, I think it was improvised. I think they were coming on the day with the script, just thinking we've got to make a Venom movie because Venom 1 made 800 million, so let's just make another one quickly. Let's, you know, write something. They don't give a shit about the quality of these characters at all. I don't understand it. Like, it's so weird. It's the worst universe out of all of them.
I will say what
say whatever they want about the DCU. I at least feel like for the most part, directors were trying to make good movies. They missed the mark a lot of the time, but I think the attempt was there to make a good movie.
Yeah, like I don't think like I will say one positive. I guess this is one positivity I only can say about the Sony universe. Like they do make pretty good. You do have pretty good character designs with Morbius. You had Venom. You had Carnage looked cool. That's the only thing I can say. That's I guess their character designs are on point. That
Yeah, I don't think there was much to love about the movie. I had a really good sleep during the first time I tried to watch it.
yeah, not saying like the movie.
That's one good thing I could say. Like it gave me a very blissful sleep.
Yeah, like I only can say like they're good with their character designs with characters. Like
oh, you mean Sony in general?
Yeah, like the character designs. So, like Venom looks like Venom. Like Carnage looks like Carnage. Morbius looks accurate. Like that's all. Like.
Oh, right, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Story side, like the designs, like looks like they put a lot of good effort into designing those designs of the characters.
Nerdman, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Deadpool 3? I'm less excited that Domino isn't back. I would have liked to see her back. I don't know. I'm just not excited about comic book movies anymore, to be honest. Like, I feel like they're not making comic book movies necessarily for me. I don't like all the humor stuff, like, for instance, all the time.
You know, have you been watching any films recently outside of it, though?
What movies have you been excited for outside of superheroes?
I really like Poor Things. I think that has.
Yeah, you finally saw it. Yeah, you see, I didn't want to say much about it because I didn't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, that was a
great
fantastic
movie.
film. Yeah, top 2 of the year for me.
Yeah, I thought it actually knocked out Oppenheimer for best movie. To be honest, like I know Oppenheimer's probably gonna win, but when you think about it,
then if
like,
you ever get the chance to see The Zone of Interest, I recommend it too.
Yeah, what pushed creativity further? I think Poor Things easily was more creative as a movie, you know, than Oppenheimer. It'll probably win cinematography, definitely. If it doesn't, that's
it won't. Oppenheimer will win it, and I don't
get
why.
I think Oppenheimer is good, but I always feel like it's very good. Like I watched it in a theater with my friends. I think it was very good, but I feel like you don't. It's that type of movie. I feel like you don't need to watch it again. I don't feel like it has that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that and it repeats a lot of info, but no, it's an excellent film. To me, there's just in every category, there's something that I think is better. And I just don't think it's like one of the best of the year. I think it's like top 20 or top 30, but I don't. There are better ones. Like I think Anatomy of a Fall is better. Zone of Interest. What was that other film? Like Red Rooms. What are some other ones?
I have to watch some more because again, with the Oscar movies, I kind of like fell off for a while because, you know, it used to be like Oscar movies for me were just like, yeah, I know that there's no, you know, like. I don't want to say politics because I hate when people.
Yeah, there is an advertising, but it's at least like a good indicator of like, you know, start like diving into some you might have missed, some quality ones.
Yeah, exactly. It used to, for me, it used to be that, but then it went through a period where, you know, movies like, what was that freaking movie about like this Moonlight, like films like Moonlight and. Or the musical that they had that year with
West Side Story.
No, not West Side Story. It was that other musical
La La Land,
with La La Land and all of that shit was getting like, and it was just like gone are the days of like Pulp Fiction and you know even something like fucking what's it called Forrest Gump or like Silence of the like whatever like I knew when I was going to go and watch an Oscar movie that at least it's just going to be like a good, like not interesting necessarily, but like I'm just going to be engaged in it, right? Whereas some of the later ones I felt were like they were going for the more artsy films, which is good. I like that they're going for the more artsy kind of stuff, and giving them a spotlight. But sometimes it's so artsy, I'm just like, I just don't really care, like it's it's filmmaking for just people who are like pure cinephiles or something like that. And I am, in a way, but sometimes I just like to watch something that just like grabs me immediately.
What do you mean, like? What do you mean, like pure artsy, like creativity?
Like Moonlight was just pure like artsy, dude. It was like
I mean, I don't know about that.
It was not. It was not like a film like Pulp Fiction or like like just something like.
Well, it was like a slice of life film, and I think it did do it, pretty fantastically. I am into those films.
I don't know, man. I was bored shitless during that movie. I have to say.
God.
Yes, so slice of life is like that those type of genres. That's like it's pretty good. You relax and watch it and stuff like that.
I mean,
maybe it was my mood. Maybe it was my mood, but like I just wasn't into it. And my friend, who's also like really into films, we were like excited to watch it. We were like, oh, cool, like a black movie that's been Oscar nominated. And
I don't. For some reason, it seems like black people are less into it compared to white people. That specific film.
Maybe that's true. But yeah, no, I've been less excited about films. But then I think part of my excitement level comes from just. I like the days of like The Dark Knight or even like Avengers or whatever, where most people were just on board. Like they were just like, yeah, new hero movies coming out, or no, this is with superheroes. In movies in general, it's different, but like with superheroes, I just like that camaraderie. Like we're coming together as nerds. Now it seems like a fucking war zone, and it's just like it's. I don't enjoy.
It's tiring. Like I do understand where you're coming from. I think it's like I don't think it's more like yes, what I think it's more on like today's like the audience that they're trying to convince, because the audience with The Dark Knight was different in the era that we are in now. It's more difficult to convince someone to see a movie and to see a movie now than ever, to be honest.
And I also think it's more it's not just more difficult, it's like it's more difficult to get consensus. Like I think there are too many people who have an axe to grind. Maybe they feel they should be the ones making these movies or something like that. They're a bit pissed off that they don't get to, because God knows if they were making the movies, everyone would love them. And so they're very prickly against these movies. So if they don't like I like comic, read the comic books, and to me it's every time, even with something like Morbius, right, which I didn't particularly enjoy as a movie, but just to see Morbius up there, a character that I used to watch in cartoons, was exciting for me. I like that aspect of watching, seeing those characters that you used to read come to life. I'll always get a kick out of that with any movie that's about superheroes. So I feel like that is lost. Like a lot of people just don't seem to appreciate that they're getting to see these characters that they used to read and used to watch as cartoons, or up on the big screen. And maybe it's because we're spoiled now.
I don't think it's like I guess I could say I guess I could agree it's kind of spoiled, but it's also like I think the day and age we are in now, it's like with like how people are now, like the Dark Knight era, more people were together with superheroes and more like you didn't fight over like what's better, Snyder Vision or this or that. And it's like you're not fighting over like fighting over that type of thing. Back then when the Dark Knight, and it was just Christopher Nolan's kind of take on Batman with DC and shit like that, and it's with
Yeah,
Marvel.
it was just like everyone was like just they were stoked to see. They were stoked to see the next superhero movie, and you know, to be fair, I was a little bit jaded at first because I wasn't, you know, I liked Iron Man, but I thought it was a little bit overrated because like the third act and stuff like that. But I never went around like trying to kill people's buzz or something like that. Like if they liked Iron Man, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're a fucking, you know, idiot. Like, what are you talking about? Like, but I always had an unsettling feeling about like the MCU even from the beginning. I didn't really dig the Incredible Hulk as much as I really wanted to dig it. I like went to see it like 3 times, I think, in the cinema, just because I like Edward Norton and I like the Hulk, and I was like, that's dream casting for me, you know. But it never really lived up to what I'd hoped it would be. And then I thought Thor and Captain America were a little average, but like people seemed to like it, and I wasn't gonna shit on them for liking it. I was just like, oh, okay. And then I thought Avengers was genuinely a banger. You know, I thought, wow.
I also
like,
think
I want to see that.
I also think when it comes to movies in general, I think just movies, like whatever it is, movies, games, TV shows, cartoons, animation, whatever it is, I feel like the social media ruined people's how to be excited, because it's like you can't have an opinion now. It's like say I like I don't know, like I'm excited for Superman Legacy or something like that, but someone's gonna bite my head off and
Bashing it.
Yeah, bashing
Especially
it.
film Twitter. Film Twitter is the worst.
Like, I just hate social media in general because it's just the worst. It ruined people's how to be excited for a film.
Right, exactly. Even like the Batman, and I'll answer Bree's question just quickly. The show I was talking about with the villain from Madam Web is called The Serpent. It's about this serial killer who was he was in like Thailand and like around that kind of area, and he was killing expats, but he's really good in it. Just watch the series. It's actually really, it's not like a typical serial killer thing. It's actually kind of like a little bit more sophisticated. And then the way things have been going over Marvel lately, I'm not really excited for the Blade movie anymore. Not even Wesley Snipes' cameo can get me hype. Yeah, I mean, you know my thing with the MCU. I don't think it's not that I think that those movies are necessarily bad. I just don't think they're made for me. Like, I enjoy the darker stuff or the more, not necessarily darker, but like more mature stuff.
Yeah, like more serious.
Yeah, I think there's a place for you know, stuff like the MCU, but the only thing I kind of tend to get annoyed at with MCU and MCU fan base is like they expect every movie to be like that, and they bash other movies that aren't, you know.
And I just think they're horrible.
Yeah,
to
don't
like,
have like
at your home, though,
constant quips and.
Yeah, they're horrible to rewatch at your home, though, because like other comedic comic book movies, like I would say the Suicide Squad, like they're comedic and everything, and at a lot of moments, but they do it in a way where it just flows with the rest of the film. But with MCU films, especially now, it's like they're the equivalent of like stand-up, where it's like those are the scenes, and then they're just like in the audience's face, just in the theater trying to get reactions. They're not doing anything artistic. So then when you rewatch it at home, it's like it's just bad.
Yeah, like I don't like.
Yeah, yeah. I would say films like Kick-Ass, for instance, did it much better. Like the comedy for me worked much
way
better in
better.
a film like Kick-Ass,
And
where
Kingsman.
it's you know, Kingsman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even Shazam, I think that both Shazam films, like the second one had a little bit more forced humor in it, and I didn't appreciate that. But like for the first one, it was like straight, like just the situation. It flowed with the situation. They weren't just trying to like, oh, we've got to throw a joke in here, you know, kind of thing. And that's the only thing I really kind of regret about the MCU. That, and it's kind of bland visually. I don't feel like often like I'm looking at a comic book come to life with the MCU, and I know a lot of people do feel like that watching the MCU, and I don't get it, because a lot of the films feel like almost TV style cinematography. I'm not a cinematographer, so I don't know, but I got the sense like it feels much more like I'm watching a TV show. The music isn't like that rousing, you know, all of the components. It's just like,
but you know what, that's what I actually appreciated about
it's
No
got some
Way
good
Home, though,
action.
because the writing and everything in that film, okay, yeah, it's like it's horrendous and everything they try to do just to put in the cameos, but honestly, with how it was made, though, in those areas, I think it was actually a big step up from other MCU films and from the previous two MCU Spider-Man films.
I'll say Black Widow, I thought, like, for once, it actually looked like a film. It didn't look like it and certain parts of it looked like panels from comic books, as opposed to just, you know, like, oh, I'm just going to film some people who happen to be wearing superhero costumes. Like, I'm not going to try and actually capture the essence. You know, and as you said, you know, Suicide Squad, that was one of the things, even though I wasn't a particularly big fan of it, I was one of the things I did like about it. It was very, very comic booky looking. You know, even like King Shark looked like straight out of a comic book. So I did like that. But what were we saying? Again, though, I think that appeals to a certain type of people, and that's fine, and it's great, and especially in the fact that it's telling a long form story, because that's the thing that feels most like a comic book with MCU, is that it's all connected, you know. So I enjoy that about the MCU. I just wish that other movies weren't bashed so heavily, like the Batman even was bashed. Like, I know a lot of MCU fans who are just like, oh, the Batman's boring. It's like, what are you talking about, you know?
They always want to see, like, they don't want to see Batman with the detective side. Like, I don't like Batman with, like, the reason why I like the Batman is it goes deep very with the detective aspect of the character that you really don't see in live action, and I think Matt Reeves does that pretty well. And for some reason, no one, there's nothing wrong with Batman fighting and stuff like that, but you also have to incorporate the other aspects of the world's greatest detective in the movie as well. And
I also thought that it was a really interesting examination of his moral stance, you know, on things. Like, they really examine, what does it mean that Batman creates his villains, for instance, you know, like that average superhero trope where it goes, oh, the superhero comes and he you know, he's how would you put it, like, becomes more, it's like he becomes more theatrical, so then the villains become more theatrical to match the superhero, and you've never really seen that's always been given some kind of lip service, but you've never really seen exactly the process and the psychology of how the villain, you know, is inspired and becomes the villain specifically because of the superhero. And I thought that was what it did so well with the relationship between the Riddler and Batman, in that, like, you saw the process by which the Riddler, psychologically speaking, actually you know, saw what Batman was doing and was truly inspired by it, like, to to put on a costume and to cause fear in the masses, and like he just warped Batman's whole morality and reason for doing what he was doing, and shaped it into something like really deadly. Did you like that about it, or
like,
did you notice that about it?
Like I noticed about, like, I really like, I liked a lot of the aspects because it reminded me like how the character truly is from the comics of the Batman character, and I really like how he implemented the detective side, like like the early side of Batman, where it's like based on year one, and also a mixture of Batman Ego, Halloween, and Zero Year. Like, I really like I really like how the film is put together with all those implementations.
All those aspects.
Yeah, and how it was delivered. I really like
I think you can see that he really loved the comic books and used them, but he wasn't a slave to them, right? He wasn't like, I'm not going to put any of myself, I'm just going to amalgamate these comics together, right? With no rhyme or sense or reason. He had a reason for telling this specific story about Batman. And yet it still showed. I remember one scene that I thought was really nice, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. I'd love to ask him about it. But if you remember, like, the Batman is phoning because he's scared that Alfred is been killed or harmed or something, and he's calling home, and like some old woman picks up the phone, and it looks like the Bat phone from the 60s show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was like, you could even feel like some Adam West influences in his version of Batman, even though it was like super dark and the complete opposite of Adam West. There was still like a kind of callback to like even that era of Batman. So that's why I really like just thought, and with the what was it called, the muscle car as well. So good film. Marvel fans do wish they had a character as cool as Batman, especially that Onzo character. Have you got any horror stories about Onzo, Arkham?
No.
It's okay if you don't want to come out yet.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's very intimidating as a person, so I know it takes some time for you to actually process what happened to you, get over the trauma, and be able to speak about it. So it's okay, Arkham. We're not gonna make you. I really hope there's more action scenes in the Batman sequel, but that's just me. I actually agree with that. I thought that was one of the things that it wasn't like, the action was good, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. It wasn't quite there. I thought there would be a few more kind of almost daredevilish fight scenes in it. Like I thought he was taking out people a little bit quickly. I would have liked a little bit more of a struggle, and I wanted him to use more gadgets. That was my thing. I thought some of the fight scenes were not bad. Were not like, the last action scene was fantastic. That one was great. Like where he burst through and beats all the Riddler guys. That was my favorite action scene. And I wish there was more of that. Using gadgets, using smoke bombs, and like that kind of stuff. But I thought it was a pretty great movie. But even that movie gets hate. There's a segment that like just hates on it, and it's like, did you read Batman comics, or what is going on? Why are people hating on like people who clearly have a passion for their, because it's not Ben Affleck,
Yeah. Don't know what to tell you with that. It's like, people get hate about the hate on it, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, go on.
Yeah, just because Ben Affleck never got his Batman movie.
Yeah,
I mean, they were advocating. They were advocating for him doing some Ben Affleck movie where he's fighting, not Deadshot. What's his name? Slade Wilson, Deathstroke. And I'm like, why? Why would I want to see that? Like, don't we get enough superhero movies where they're fighting some dark version of themselves that's just bigger and slightly like stronger or something? I hate that trope in superhero movies, like Iron Man, Ironmonger. It was one of the reasons I like Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Even though they created those villains, it's like they had cool different powers. They weren't just like Shazam but dark. Like in the first one, it was just Shazam, but he's, like they made Dr. Sivana basically have Shazam powers, but like he's just a darker version. And at least he had the cool thing where the monsters came out of his eyes and stuff like that. That was cool. But like, I have no interest. Like, The Dark Knight Rises is one of my least favorite Batman movies. I still think it's good, but it's one of my least favorite because it's just like, oh, we're gonna make a Batman but bigger, and Bane is one of my least interesting Batman villains because of that. I don't know how you feel about that. I like the classic Batman villains like Joker, Scarecrow, like even
I agree with that. Like, for me, like I don't think Deathstroke's a bad villain. I like Deathstroke,
No, I don't.
but I just think I just want to see the regular just rogues gallery with Batman, Ventriloquist and Scarface, Clayface, Poison Ivy, Joker, Penguin, etc. I don't want to see Deathstroke in a Batman movie, that if they introduce
I'd rather him
Deathshot,
in a Teen Titans movie, if anything. I think that would be cool to have him face up against the Teen Titans.
I'd rather have a Deadshot than rather Deathstroke in a Batman movie, because Deadshot is in the comics important to the Rogues Gallery as well, but I wouldn't put him as a main villain, like a side villain or kind of like that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just want the regular Rogues Gallery of Batman. Like,
I just think it's more interesting when Batman is facing an intellectual threat than when he's facing just somebody who can beat him up or someone who can just fight him. It's nice. I'm not saying like, it was cool that Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, at the end of Batman Begins can actually give him a little bit of a fight. But in the end of the day, what was more interesting to me was the intellectual relationship between him and Ra's al Ghul, like the ideological conflict. And I don't feel like, did you feel like Bane had like an ideological conflict with Batman? He just kind of took Ra's al Ghul's, philosophy, but it wasn't his own. Like what was Bane actually wanting?
Like
in the end of it.
my problem, how the Bane was interpreted in Rises is, like Bane is all like in the comics he's more smarter, and he's more smarter and intellectual, and like yes he uses that strength, but like how in Rises and a lot of the live action interpretations of like Bane that I've seen, they don't bring that aspect into the movie, like that like
Yeah.
he's not stupid.
No, I know he's not, but this is the thing. That whole thing is like, it's just Batman. He's Batman, but he's bigger and badder. He's smarter. He's strong. He's like, I'm just like, I don't care about that relationship between superhero and villain. It's like, it's so, and MCU has done it to death now. Like every single one of their movies, like 90% of them, it's just like Killmonger versus Black Panther. It's another Black Panther. He's got the Black Panther suit versus Black Panther. Or, who else have they got? Like, I mean, that's why Loki kind of stands out in a way. But like, who else have they done? When you think about it, like Captain America versus Red. What's his name? Red Skull. But like, Red Skull's actually a really cool villain in the comics, but like the way they did Red Skull, it was just like, oh, evil Captain America, Nazi Captain America. You know, they didn't really like give like a proper ideological conflict between the two of them that needed to be resolved. So that there's a bunch of them in the MCU, and you know, in general in comic book movies that I just, you know, even like something like Zod, I'm like, oh God, Superman. Oh, it's evil Superman with all the Superman's powers, and Superman will beat him up. And it's like, I'd rather see Brainiac, or you know, even like fucking Metallo or something like that. Like a modern interpretation of that would be more interesting.
I like Metallo. I would like to see Metallo in live action. Like we don't we don't know the villain in Superman Legacy. Maybe it'll be Metallo. I think Metallo would be cool as a villain, main villain.
So what about?
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Metallo will be cool as a main villain, or.
Yeah, he could be a cool villain, or like I don't know what the main villain is because we don't know anything. But like if I had to guess, it could either be Metallo. I don't think it's I know some people are saying it's Bizarro. I don't think it's probably I don't think it's Bizarro, but maybe you have Parasite. I always found Parasite in the comics interesting with the origin. Even in Superman the animated series, I think like having Bizarro as not Bizarro, Parasite as the main villain, I think that could be very interesting because he doesn't get a lot of love, to be honest, or like certain characters in the Superman like mythology don't get a lot of love, and they just are put aside. That's also how I feel with.
I think I'd love to see a Toyman Parasite. You know, like not team up, but like Toyman is like there in the background, and then Parasite is like the main villain. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Toyman would be cool.
You know, but, I always love the different interpretations of Toyman. It's like they're usually quite creepy. Let's answer this question quickly before we move on. And then don't forget what you were going to say. So, Nernman, do you like the disfigured Joker design in the Batman deleted scene? I think I liked the scene that was deleted more than I liked the scene that made it into the film. But I don't think either of those scenes should have been in the film. And I really don't understand why he's gone with this degenerative disease for the Joker when actually it would be really cool if that Joker had fallen into a vat of acid. Because it would make sense. That's what would happen to your face if you fell into a vat of acid. So like, I don't understand.
I think the scene was fine. Like the end credits seeing him just laughing, but it's like I don't even think that's gonna be the final design of Joker when we actually see him. I think it was just a deleted scene for a reason, and like I know some people didn't like it, but it's probably gonna evolve on the next time when we actually see the Joker. Like
I think he put that in. This is what, because I don't think it flows with the movie at all, and I know he's a good enough director to know that didn't flow with the movie. It kind of made Riddler seem silly, you know, whereas he'd seemed quite sinister before. So I think the reason that they put that in the movie is because he was determined to not have the studio try and persuade him to have Joaquin Phoenix as their movie Joker. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there was a lot of people.
You mean Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, I think he wanted to like, you know, X that before it even could be a
and
thing.
That's good, thank fucking God. But yeah,
like I I could agree with that. Like that is a possibility. I wouldn't. I think it's good because he wants to have his own version of Joker. He doesn't want to get like merge with the Joker universe. Like I always hated this idea that like people want the Batman universe and the Joker universe to be as a whole. I do not like that idea because it's like Matt Reeves wants to go more like I know you have realism and you have some, like a tiny grounded, but Matt Reeves just wants to do his own thing with his characters. I don't want it to be where you have to be forced to bring his version
Yeah,
in the
but
Joker
his one is
universe.
his one is so edgy, and I just think actually the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker works with that universe. I'm sorry, it just does. Like it's not so edgy. It's not so like it's like I get the visual aspect of what he's trying to do with his version of the Joker, but it seems so similar to what Nolan went for. Like I can't see how the comparisons aren't going to be drawn of just like, wow, he's just like fucking Nolan's Joker. Whereas the Joker in Joker was actually a genuinely different take on the Joker, which was kind of just as terrifying when you think about it. And if he's just like a kind of accidental madman who just gains this following throughout the city, like that's a really dangerous situation for Batman. I mean, if you see like at the end of the Joker, like how like everyone has the Joker masks and are following him. So if he was like released from prison some years later, and all of those people start like this gathering of thing around him, like, oh, this mythic guy who did this thing years before is like he's released or something like that, and maybe they even drive him crazy, like they turn him into the Joker, like he's maybe rehabilitated or something, and then they turn him I don't know, maybe that would be too far, but like the whole point is that I could see it working. But I'm also glad I let Matt Reeves do whatever he wants.
Because
I'm interested in his take, but I think it is a little
like
bit of a missed opportunity.
yeah, I'm interested in what he's gonna do with his universe. I'm extremely excited what the spin-offs he's doing. I know you have Penguin. I think you're gonna have a Scarecrow spin-off too. That's gonna be exciting. I forgot the other one. There, other than the like you're gonna have the Asylum spin-off too. Then like further develop Batman 2 and Batman 3. I don't know how
Yeah.
many movies he wants to do. I can see it I can see it ending at like I can see like it I don't think it'll go I think it'll probably end at a third or fourth Batman film. I could see that eventually ending there. Because I think I can see like it could be like him building up like maybe it'll lead all the way into the last film that will build into this Arkham Asylum type of movie where Batman where it's actually he that you already lead up to it and eventually established Arkham Asylum and Batman is in Arkham Asylum. Maybe like the game or something like that. I can see something like that because it's like you're eventually you have technically you have Blackgate. You have Blackgate, you have Arkham Hospital, but you don't and I feel like he's gonna slowly lead into the creation of Arkham Asylum in the universe.
True.
And I want I know this is a big nitpick, but I do want Arkham Asylum to be on the island. I want like I always found like I like the Arkham games because it's like I always found a Arkham Asylum being on its own island with all these insane people, like his villains and stuff like that. I like it better than where it's just stated in Gotham and not on an island in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do like that as well. Like, you mean like the city is more. What say again? The city is more.
Like I like the Arkham Asylum version where it's more on an island than in the city.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Yeah. I do like that. I mean, I like different versions of things, like different versions, like as long as it makes kind of like sense to the thing. But yeah, you're right. I liked it on the island as well. Um, the actual prison kind of thing, right? Is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking? Am I getting you right? You're saying like the Arkham Asylum is like a little island unto itself or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
But
the game.
I thought that was Iron Heights that is like that in DC Universe. Because that's what I think. The game kind of jacks Superman's style because the prison that is in Metropolis is the one that's on the island.
Yeah,
I think it's called Iron Heights.
I think that's on the island. But we found the island change with Arkham Asylum more better because it's like the inmates can easily break out and in Arkham Asylum in the city, and they'll be unleashed on the city. But if you're on an island, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go unless you're in the water. You know what I mean? And I find it a good change how Rocksteady did with the island aspect of Arkham Asylum. And hopefully, I don't know if we're gonna get that, but I do want to see that with Arkham Asylum. There are certain things that I like.
Did you
There's
like
certain
the
things.
Arkham Asylum the way it looked in the Batman? Because I didn't love it. The way it
Arkham
looked
Asylum.
interiorly. The way it looked interiorly in
Interiorly, I think it was fine, but at the same time, I would like it to be bigger. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was kind of like I want to see them in their like little cages, like almost like Silence of the Lambs style,
Yeah.
like
But I do
smiling.
think Arkham Asylum will slowly I
Evolve
think so,
into like
so slowly get better and like slowly I guess update. That's a word, like slowly update and the interior will look different. The like kind of like think of it this way, like the first Batman movie, like yes, Batman had a prototype suit. Arkham Asylum looks like uh still old. I feel like it'll slow certain aspects of the world of Gotham and everything will slowly update the further you get into the universe.
hello.
Kind of like that. Like I don't think Matt Reeves as a director, I don't think we'll get like very update suit, but I do think because I know people are wanting an update suit, but I do think we will get a new suit, but it's like it's not gonna be this this kind of type of per se, like he's gonna get a new suit every film. I don't think that's gonna happen because I
No, I
know
don't think so. Because it's not
like
a toy commercial like most of these superhero movies are toy commercials. They want you to get the latest model.
I do think Nirmana. Do you think Patterson? Yeah, I already answered that. Yeah, I do think he will get a new suit, but the second suit will probably be his final suit throughout the whole universe. So it's like so I think he
Look,
will get a
all
new
I
suit.
care about is I want him to have more gadgets. There's no reason
Yeah,
now. Like he needs to have more gadgets, and like we're living in a like technologically like we're getting to like a point of advancement where this whole old style, DIY Batman is like I think it's cool, but like you're getting to a moment where cars are going to be like the Batmobile in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to have like features that are like
Yeah,
computers inside and stuff like that. So there's no reason for him not to have like a sick
yeah,
computer
like
and shit like that in his car. And
his technology will slowly get better and stuff like that. I do think he will get a new suit, but I do think that like when you introduce the new suit in the second film, I do think that will be his permanent suit throughout the universe. So it's like
yeah, I think so as well. But there's only going to
because
be 3 films. I mean, like,
yeah,
I
so it's like you like because like people were thinking, oh, he's gonna have one suit per film, and I don't think that. I think like I always felt the Batman suit as a prototype suit, type of homemade suit, like the comics, in the first film, and um, and I think he will get a new suit that will be a permanent suit. It will probably look different and stuff like that. Like tiny, like his technology will probably be more advanced from compared from the first film, and he'll probably have more
yeah.
gadgets, I believe. Um, and I do find it interesting that the Batcave is in Wayne Tower. Um, Wayne
Was
Tower.
it? No, it
Um,
was in the mansion. It was in the mansion. It was underneath the
not
mansion.
what was it
It's
like?
in, I think it was.
It
I don't think it was.
no, I think it was in Wayne Tower. Like that's what was confirmed.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought I saw him drive under the mansion and then he goes up into the mansion
Yeah,
through
like
the elevator.
I find it interesting to take words in the Wayne Tower.
Can I ask you, comparing it to the Nolan movies? This is the last thing before we go because I have to go
Yeah,
now. But like
yeah.
comparing it to the Nolan movies, do you? I mean, I certainly think it's now, in my estimation, it's slightly better because Batman Begins is still one of my favorite. I just like it, like as a like I can watch that in any mood and just vibe with it. I think it's really fun and slick and like just
I
has some
like
of the coolest like Batman imagery and stuff like that. But I actually think that the Batman's a superior movie to that. I don't know it quite meets up to the Dark Knight levels, but it's sniffing it. I really do. And so I'm wondering, when this is all said and done, do you think this will be the superior Batman universe
I do
to
think
Nolan?
so. I don't like the dark. I I will say like I would say like when you talk about the Dark Knight, it's like I do think this will be like a very consistent when it comes to Gotham, how it's the architecture and stuff like that and everything. One problem I always had with the Nolan movies is like the Gotham, like how you see
Yeah, I didn't like Gotham.
I like Gotham in Begins was good. Then
Mm.
what when we see the Dark Knight, I did not like it. Like I don't know what they did.
Yeah,
Like
it kind of threw me off actually because I was like, oh, it was almost like I felt like I didn't remember Batman Begins because I hadn't watched it for a while. When I watched The Dark Knight, and I was like, there's something different about this, like even
yeah,
from the opening scene, you're like,
it
there's
didn't feel
something
like
really
Gotham.
different about this. Like, what's going on? Like,
What I like about
yeah,
Gotham is that
yeah, it really didn't, and I didn't love that.
what I like about like the Batman Gotham is it tells a story behind it, like how like the story of crime and everything like that, and it's like the architecture, like it tells you a story, and even in Begins, it told the story of what what Gotham is, and I feel like
Mm.
Nolan what changing that in the Dark Knight kind of reverses the story
Yeah,
of the history of Gotham.
right. With the narrows and everything, like I love the look of like Batman Begins, and he even had all the rain, like it was raining all the time in
Yeah,
Batman Begins. I don't know if you noticed that because I thought that was something Matt Reeves like kind of brought to the cinema for the first time. But actually, it was Nolan. Like Nolan did like the whole raining all the time, like first. So yeah, I didn't mind because I thought the movie was so strong in pretty much every other aspect, but I just did that decision was like confounding to me. I was like, why not just make it look like Gotham like the first one? Like, but I'll say this: I really loved his Bruce Wayne, and I liked, especially in Batman Begins, I just loved like the contrast that he tried to make between his Batman and Bruce Wayne. I thought was like the most kind of Bruce Wayne I've ever seen, and I didn't love that. If there was one thing in the Batman, it's not like I understand why it was done, and it makes complete sense to the story he's telling.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't create a Bruce Wayne persona in the next movie, I think I'm gonna have a problem with it. Like
I think you'll get a Bruce Wayne persona. The point of why what Bruce Wayne is like in the first film is he doesn't want to be Bruce Wayne. He put
he
so
hasn't
much
gotten over his trauma yet.
Yeah,
he hasn't even processed it in any way. Yeah, that's what I think. But go
on. He didn't really want to be Bruce Wayne. He put so much energy of being Batman that he didn't really care about his appearance, and he didn't care about like the future of the Wayne name and everything like that. It's like he always like he always put so much energy in it, and I think you'll see that development of that changing in the second movie. Him becoming that like that playboy billionaire type of persona in the second film.
So who before we go, who do we want as villain? Who do we want
as
as
the villain
in the second movie?
Who do I think, or who do I want?
Top three.
Top
who
three.
Do you think they're gonna go with? Would you like to see?
Okay, who I think they're gonna do is I think they're gonna do Hush. Who would I want? I have a few options. Like one, I think it would be cool to have the ventriloquist and Scarface as a villain. I think that would be cool. Clayface as
how you could do it though. I don't see how you could do it. Like, how are gangsters gonna be like?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Clayface. Another option they could do like maybe Two-Face, but make him a permanent like a Two-Face villain. I think that would be very good. That's technically a ground character with. I think that would be cool. Or I don't know, maybe like what's another one? Maybe Prometheus. They can do Prometheus. You know the character, right? Prometheus.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool. And there's probably a few others that they could do, but it's like what kind of story are they gonna do? Like I'm interested in what type of story they're gonna do.
I'm fascinated by like what the because I could see him going a fantastical route with even the film that he made. Like I could still see it going a little bit.
You still have those fantastical aspects. You still have those fantastical aspects. I don't know why people say it doesn't. Like, yes, it's grounded, but you still have those fantastical aspects in the film. Like,
yeah,
and I think
exactly. I could see a Clayface or even a Poison Ivy kind of like working in this universe. But what I don't want is them to take that element of the groundedness of it. If you can't fit it in like that, Clayface genuinely like turns into Clayface, then just don't do it. Like, because I just think they're gonna get bashed, and it's gonna get like how like online is. So
I know another one. Like, there's other few that I would like to see. Like, I'll give you my top 10, and I don't know who the villain is, but I'll give you my top 10. I might want to Mr. Freeze, Two-Face.
Mr. Freeze would be great. That's my number one.
Two-Face. Mad Hatter. I want to see Mad Hatter. I think he would be cool as a villain. Scarecrow as a villain. I didn't mind Begins, but I want to see more of the fear side, like the comics. How the fear.
I just thought they missed a trick with that. There should have been a final Batman, but I didn't mind that the girl took him out in the end. But I feel like there could have been a final Batman battle with him on the horse, running through the streets, just like terrorizing people and stuff like that. And then Batman comes, he does some tricky shit to like take Batman out, and then Rachel hits him with the thing in the face. That I wouldn't have minded that, or that was my only thing about him, because I thought the performance was actually very strong, like with Cillian Murphy, the way he portrayed him, it was like he was really quite unsettling. So I would like to see Scarecrow given another go.
Another one would be I would like to a Prometheus, maybe like give King Killer Croc. I think giving Killer Croc a chance would be pretty cool. I think it could work in his settings of his universe, like how he does kill Croc. I wouldn't mind if they did Poison Ivy. Like, you have so many Batman villains that you have free reign to do whatever villains, but I want to see I want to see the villains that have never been done before.
True. To me, Mr. Freeze is top of my list. I just think that emotional journey, and I think there's a way you could kind of ground him that still works with the Matt Reeves universe. So like you could turn it into a kind of aerosol, the freeze thing, into like an aerosol weapon, as opposed to like, it being ice, like shooting out, and that would still be just as freaky, right? Like, and that he has to, I don't know how you do this he has to live at sub-zero temperatures, because that really doesn't make much sense in reality.
You can make it where it's like he even if it's like realism, you can get sub-zero temperature, some type of suit, but make it more the suit a little realistic, where he can't breathe outside of that suit, or outside that cold temperature.
Right, exactly.
But if they do Hush, I don't think they will do the Hush story, but I do think they will do Heart of Hush. So the original Hush story.
And what about Court of Owls?
Oh, I would like the Court of Owls, but I don't think they're gonna introduce them in the second movie. If they do, I would love that, because I love the Court of Owls. I think the story behind the Court of Owls is very good, and I think that would be a very good opportunity to do it. Maybe it might not be in the second movie, maybe the third movie, whatever they do. But I do think I'm extremely excited for this universe. What Matt Reeves has free reign to do whatever he wants.
More about that than the Superman, the DCU. We talked way more about
for me, I'm excited for both. I'm excited for both the DCU Batman and the Batman, because it's like you get two versions of whatever version you like. If you like the more fantastical, with no realism, or I guess groundedness, then you have the DCU. And if you like this version of Batman, you have Matt Reeves.
One thing that bothers me about the DCU is I'm worried that because of
Warner the audience?
Warner Brothers history. The audience is one thing, but I'm worried because of Warner Brothers history, they're going to be a bit gun shy with using the Flash, Shazam, even Aquaman, because of the spectacular failure that happened at the end. with those
right now.
guys. So I'm really like concerned. I'm not going to see any of my favorite characters. They're going to go with more silly characters. You know, James Gunny, kind of like what's his name? The one from the future. What's his name? Golden one.
What was it? Booster Gold.
Booster Gold and stupid shit like that. They've already done Mr. Not Mr. Fantastic. The T guy. Like all these weird kind of like.
Oh, you mean Tornado? You're talking about?
No. But like, look, they've got Supergirl as a movie. They got Superman as a movie. They got Batman as a movie. You know, but
I do
like,
think we will
or
get
Justice League. It's like like Wonder Woman, all of that kind of stuff. It's like that's all up in the air, and I don't see a plan toward. Like, you need a plan towards a Justice League movie. I don't like. I'm so fed up of waiting for a series of Justice League movies. I'm gonna be like 60 years old before I see a fucking Justice League movie. It's like it's getting stupid now. You know, and they're going to be gun shy about that because they lost so much money on that first Justice League movie.
I don't think it's gun shy. Like, first of all, when it comes to like I know James Gunn's in charge and he has the plan and whatever. We only got like a very tiny portion on what the slate is, so it's like it's not like we don't know that they're not going to introduce the Flash or the Wonder Woman, or was it you have Superman, you have Supergirl, you have Batman, Aquaman, and like whatever characters say they do, Martian Manhunter, etc. We only got like I would say 5% of the slate. So when he reveals more of the slate, maybe we will see another Flash. We'll probably see Flash movie, Wonder Woman movie. It's just right now, he hasn't revealed the whole thing. Like, the one thing I would say that puts him ahead of Marvel is you do not want to reveal the whole slate and say a whole slate and then get your project. All those projects have to get delayed and stuff like that. Like, that's a good thing that he hasn't revealed the whole thing, is because when the strike was happening, a lot of those movies had to get delayed and everything like that. And it's not good to reveal your whole slate because things shift and here and there.
Yeah, no, of course it's good, you know, not to, you know, like reveal anything, but like just what he revealed. At first, it was kind of like exciting because there was a couple of projects where I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Like they're doing that. But then I just thought about it, like it's not really. It's kind of nonsensical. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you building towards? I don't understand. Like even this team that he's doing a film of, like, I'm like, why? Like,
Authority?
The Authority. I'd prefer him doing like a setup of like the Watchmen meet the Justice League or something like that. Like, at least it has some kind of grounding in films that DC has done before. You know, like, who the fuck are the Authority? You know, like.
I think like the Authority does have a bit connection to Superman the comics also. So it's like you're gonna have that connection between Legacy and the Authority with the like I suggest reading the have you read the Authority? I suggest you read the Authority. It like they are very interesting characters. I haven't
I'm sure they are. It's just they're Wildstorm first of all. You know, like they were originally Wildstorm, so
yeah. But for me, it's just I want to wait and see what each film provides. Like I'm like right now,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the projects, and I'll wait and see how each project comes out. Like right now this year, I'm excited for Joker and the Penguin. I'm especially excited for the Penguin series. I've been waiting for that for so. Like I want to see. I think it comes in the fall of 2024.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's a long way away. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I've got to peace out, dude. But
Okay.
just to say, you know, hashtag survive it. We've survived Biggaford Entertainment. Hashtag surviving bigger. You spread it on Twitter as much as you can. The hashtag surviving Biggaford. Hashtag me too Biggaford. I'll put a little link in the comments so you can spread that on Twitter. If you are a survivor and you have a story from Biggaford Entertainment, please, you know, actually don't share. I don't want Hunter getting like screwed on Twitter. But yeah, so anyway, it was very, very therapeutic to be able to finally unload the hell that I've gone through in the last few years with Onzo and that raccoon friend of his, Mike, constantly cyber stalking me online. These guys have been cyber stalking me. I'm on a stream, all of a sudden they pop up, they start like, you know, like I've got like people, gangs of MCU fans like following me in the streets, telling me some shit about like how Infinity War is great, Infinity War is great. Like I can't sleep in peace, man. I'm afraid. And you know, I think there comes a time when a man needs to have a reckoning, you know, with this. You know, so thank you for joining us in this support group, Arkham. I know you're not ready to share your stories yet, but whenever you are, you know, you've got a place a safe space where you can share your harrowing stories of your experiences with Onzo. And we all know that he loves the Dark Knight now. That's the takeaway from this. There's no doubt that this man loves the Dark Knight. Perhaps I'll even talk for a moment. I'm going to end with something. Just if you could talk just for a second, Arkham, while I find something.
Okay. I don't know, like the Penguin show is going to be great. I can't wait for like the evolution of the king, like how the evolution of the Penguin character, how they how he's gonna be at the end of the show. Like maybe he will have those classic Penguin goals like the comics. Like I can't wait for that. Like I think Colin Farrell was excellent portraying the Penguin in the movie, and I can't wait for him to see him again in the Penguin. You're going to have the Falcone. I think it's the daughter of Falcone. I can't wait for that. And
oh, you're gonna have the daughter of Falcone in there.
Yeah, you're gonna have the daughter, and you're also gonna have Maroni, I think, in there as well.
Oh, really? Maroney's. Oh, yeah, because he and apparently Patterson has showed up on set as well, so he's in there.
Yeah, like it's yet like it might be like you're gonna have this power struggle between like maybe you're gonna have that power struggle between Maroni Falcone's daughter and Maroni, like like a war between both of them, like her taking up the footsteps of her father, and it's like then you're gonna try to you're probably gonna see the evolution of Penguin taking charge and taken over, and you're gonna see the evolution of the Iceberg Lounge and how his notorious evolution of the Penguin character go towards in the series.
Yeah, exactly. I think. See, this is the thing. This MCU heathen is like he's somehow like messed up my my thing. He's like he's basically trying to censor me, but I found it finally. So we'll end like this, just like just like the Batman in Batman Returns did to the Penguin. I played this stinking city like a heart from hell. You remember that? I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna get Onzo like that. You ready?
Yeah.
Whoop. Okay, we're gonna get the remix. Your shirt didn't go unnoticed. No, man, Team Vader. Yeah. Ready? Listen to this. This gaslighter. You remember how he's been gaslighting us all this time? Arkham? Listen to this gaslighter.
Nothing can touch that trilogy. I like The Dark Knight because of Heath Ledger, but Christian.
You hear that?
Nothing can touch that trilogy. I like The Dark Knight because of Heath Ledger. Nothing can touch that trilogy. I like The Dark Knight because of Heath Ledger, but Christian Bale kills. Nothing can touch that trilogy.
You hear that? And he goes, I like The Dark Knight because of Heath Ledger, and Christian Bale kills it as Batman. You heard it, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear that,
I heard
Arkham?
it.
You heard that, just like everybody else. So when this MCU heathen comes on, spitting his venom and lies online, trying to warp the minds of the children, as if the Dark Knight is not the greatest comic book movie of all time. We all know the truth. Hashtag surviving Biggaford. Hashtag me too. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Arkham. Thank you, K Dots, for sharing your stories. Same with you, Cole. Peace.
Bye.